Previously on Cal Poly Survivor.
Going to meet up with Lila. We're gonna talk. It's been the first time we've talked since she backstabbed me.
It's either next to Sunday when Hugh or Lila out.
I think if he thinks the votes are between like Lila and Hugh, and he's not expecting his name at all, he's just as good at immunity as as Hugh. So they're both like big threats, and I trust Dylan the least. Yeah, he was really throwing Hugh under the bus, and of course I'm sitting there agreeing, like, yes, I agree.
Do I know a little secret?
Yeah.
He's my roommate.
No, he's not.
He's my roommate.
What?
That's why I was so willing to flip right away and play the idol.
Gosh, that's insane. I think I deserve an Oscar for my performance. Him telling me Hugh and him are roommates and me pretending I had no idea.
So this past tribal council really screwed up my plans.
After tribal council, I did not love how everyone hates me. And then Gina, I don't really care where she votes. Her vote is irrelevant to me, just like how she is in this game right now. This Hugh-Lila war is brewing. Hugh has to go. He's the biggest target right now.
Dylan thinks he can pull one over me. I just told my entire alliance that we're roommates. And by doing this, I built so much trust. I am at a loss for words. I cannot believe he's targeting me this early. I cannot believe that he revealed that we're roommates.
So I was planning to talk to Pierce about possibly flipping the vote to Jaina. She's like, yeah, I agree. But she was way too like forthcoming about it. Like she totally agreed with it.
What a crazy day this has been. I cannot put into words. Like, I did not think this was gonna happen. First, the eavesdropping.
Let's hear what's going on. So I opened the door and I'm just like, so what's going on in here?
Second, like, Dylan finding out about basically everything. I kind of spilled my game.
Can we talk later? I'm going home. And I need to go right home. So yeah.
This is for one, looking through my stuff, two, targeting me and then lying to my face about it, and three, just being devious.
8th person voted out Survivor and the 6th member of our jury.
The next couple votes, I'm kind of in a precarious situation because there's like really two ways I could go, and I got to do what's best for my game. Obviously, people view me as a threat. That's very scary. I didn't think I was going to be viewed as that way, but unfortunately, I'm in this situation. The game is the game, so I'm here to play. I'm here to make a move, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, because my thing was edge. I want you here still. Like, I don't want you to go. Like, I don't know. You're fine. If it falls, like, you do too much.
That vote was supposed to be a little more secretive than it was, but regardless, Dylan went home. It's the result that I wanted to see, and the people that trust me wanted to see too. So
I was able to get out Dylan. He was targeting me. Lila was targeting me, and I was able to flip the vote on its head and send him packing. It's a little awkward now that we're roommates, and he's gonna be sleeping right under me. I'm the top bunk, he's the bottom, so we'll see how that goes. But
once again, back on the floor. Tribal, at least I knew what happened, you know. Dylan's out, another one of my allies. Literally a pattern.
It's another step in a game where I got to figure out how to get the biggest players out, and I'm glad we got one of them.
But that's 4 allies just gone. People I talk to, it's a trend. they get voted out. I don't really know what's gonna happen next week. Probably whoever I'm talking to is gonna be out, and I'll be sitting here again talking about how this happens.
For the Final 6 Community Challenge, the players were tasked with completing an online puzzle. We're down to the final 6, and whoever gets the fastest time wins individual immunity. In order to make the puzzle more difficult, the entire puzzle was just all black. All the pieces looked the same. So whoever was able to get it together the fastest won immunity.
Guess who won their first immunity challenge? This girl right here. It was so weird the way it happened. I was literally sitting at the UU and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the last person to do the challenge. I need to turn it in because they're gonna get mad at me. So I did it, and it was a puzzle that was like just completely black. But I did it on my laptop, and I feel like that helped because it was just like spaced out and everything. So I did it in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. I feel like I really needed it because I don't know, I never know what's going on in the game. I feel like people don't see me as a threat, just because, I don't know, that's kind of the vibe I'm giving off, which is fine. I don't want to be seen as a threat, but I'm excited because now I have something I could say I've done, and it also lets me play a little bit more risky, I guess, just because I am safe. Not too risky though, because not guaranteed next week.
So I had a conversation with Pierce, and we didn't really talk about Final 3, but we did also talk about how we need to get out Hugh eventually. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure that I can trust her because of what's happened in the past, like with the Jane vote, but as of right now, I'm feeling pretty confident with working with her.
What is going on in this vote? I honestly don't know what is going on. I've had confirmation that there's been a girls' alliance that has been talked about. I don't know about form. I don't know who they're going after.
I feel like we're on like America's Next Top Model.
Yeah.
And like pose.
Okay, so pretty much like we were just thinking that like Hugh's idol that he has is like allegedly fake. Yeah, but like that
is it?
could so be
Because we don't know where our
we don't
second
know.
idol is.
Yeah, so like we
don't know
never
where
found
it
our
is.
second one.
So they made, I think Pierce made a girls chat, which makes sense because we have the majority, but like it's just weird because no one's talked about it before. So that was kind of weird. And then Hugh calls me and he's like, I know about your girls chat. And I was like, how? I found out like 20 minutes ago.
I had Jaina reach out to me, tell me about the Girls' Alliance, and tell me that Pierce created it. I had Pierce tell me beforehand that there is a Girls' Alliance and a chat has been made. Lila told me Pierce made it and that there's a girls' chat. Dina told me about this girls' chat. Jaina wants Ben's idol to be played and then Ben to go home. And I'm like, why is that best case for me? It's not best case for me.
Hugh gave me a few calls this morning. We talked. And then this is like, my aftermath. And essentially what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to convene because we believe that, last night after, getting to know Jaina, it was kind of tough. Then, it was tough. Thinking, I might have to vote this person. They're pretty cool. But we realized that Jaina has a lot of people that are on the jury that were on her team. And I think the best thing is to get all the green team out. So at least it's more fair and there's not a complete bias for who they have. So we're going to continue with our schedule of Jaina, then Dina, and then we'll discover who's going home in the final 4.
Another thing me and Pierce talked about was how important it is that we keep Ben out of the loop for the Hugh vote because we think that Ben would play his idol for Hugh and that they're really close.
The next thought would be like, how do we flush that idol? But I don't even know if it's possible
Because they feel so
they're
comfortable.
we actually don't think they're gonna vote either. They're not.
So with that in mind,
We get them out.
we get Hugh out at the
3 of us today, right now.
We can't be like that because Jane is running.
Yeah, and then Hugh, maybe and Hugh and Ben are voting Jaina, and they think we'll be voting with them. So it's 2 and 1, and if we do 3, this might be our only chance. Like to get him, because if that idol is real, and if it's not, then Ben's still in it. He's gonna play the idol for Hugh. Yeah, okay. Because Ben's never played this game. Weird thing is like the worst case of this is Hugh. Watch out. The worst case right now is Hugh has an idol play for him. Okay, yeah, and Jaina goes home.
I've thrown out Lila and Jaina's name so many times, I kind of forget who I threw it out to. I've thrown out every name. I've talked to everybody in the game. So getting a game plan in motion. Dina has expressed sentiments that she wants to get Jaina out. So I just got to make the move that's best for me and is going to put me in the best position forward. And I hopefully don't go out.
But like, so I know Ben and Hugh are voting out Jaina, and Pierce and Lila are voting out Hugh. So it really just depends on what I want to do, I think. Because the other thing is, like, I would want Jaina out just because, like, she has a lot of friends on the jury. The only thing is, Hugh and Ben both have idols. So if we don't take them out, at least one of them this week, then next week, they could both play their idol and be safe and be guaranteed into the final 4. Which would mean that, like, one of us would have to go out. And if Hugh goes to the end, he's winning.
We're on like America's Next Top Model. Yeah. And, like, pose. Come on in.
Come on in. The next thought would be like, how do we flush that idol? But like, I don't even know if it's possible. Because they feel so comfortable. Like, we actually don't think they're gonna go either. She's mad at us. I'm literally just gonna be like, you literally told him a lie about
Yeah,
us.
also,
Like, if she stays in and she's mad that we did go for her, we should be like, if it wasn't going on Hugh, it's going on Jane. Yeah, like, you're welcome. Like, we may be able to be like, listen, like, they had the 2. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm down for this plan. Okay. We should just do it. Just, oh my god. We cannot talk about it to anyone. No, I know. We almost might even have to walk in separately. Oh, you're right. Okay, God. Wait. Because if everything's...
All right, we're back. I'm finally back. I'm excited. Fine. Final 6. In a week's time, we'll be crowning our winner. So we're almost done. But with that being said, I'd like to see how some of you guys are feeling. So let's start with the challenge. Dina, take me through how it feels to have immunity for the first time.
It feels great. I think everyone knows I have this streak, if you will, of going into tribals, not knowing what's going on, being on the wrong side. So it's nice coming to tribal, at least knowing that I'm not the one going home. So, yeah.
Does anyone feel like, with what she just said about feeling like she could be the one going home usually, like this tribal, like it's definitely them? Like, do you think that, does anyone feel like they're completely on the bottom, like they'll likely be out? Well, that means that everyone has their own plan.
Wait, what? That's scary. Wait, okay.
I think just because there's like no time in between this tribal and last tribal, everybody kind of like, and the challenge was so late, everybody's kind of been throwing ideas everywhere. Like, I've heard everybody's names, I've heard so many alliances, I've heard a million different things. So like, it's up in the air as well.
So going off of what Hugh said, Pierce, how do you think that impacts the split with how little time you have?
Yeah, I mean, even just last night, I was up until like 1 in the morning, just trying to have conversations with everybody, you know, figuring out like what is happening. And like, I wake up this morning, I'm like, I still don't know what's happening. You know, I need to make sure that these things are still happening. And so it's been super stressful. And I think now everybody's kind of shifting. It's getting individual at this point. Like, it's so small that people, like the people that reach out to me are definitely thinking more individually than like as a team or where they once lied. So it's making the vote that much harder.
Who feels confident in their plan today?
Nice.
So no one.
God, you're gonna have 6 different names on.
So let me ask you, Jaina. You know, after I think it's 4 straight votes of the Sandspits getting out, Dina's safe, you being the only Sandspit that could be eliminated, how does that make you feel coming into tonight's vote?
Yeah, well, it's kind of sad that I've almost gotten used to blindsides at this point. But after Cooper and Michaela and Soren, I really amped up like my game. Something like really got me like fired up. And I said that I wasn't gonna sit around and just hold on to these alliances. And so I have done my best to really make these connections with people who I've honestly never played with before. And they've had plenty of time before the merge to get to know each other. So for me to insert myself and really try and like convince them that I'm someone they want to work with and keep around, it was definitely like an uphill climb. I think I've done good enough up to this vote to have really created some good relationships with people.
Ben, obviously there's 4 yellow coming into tonight. None of you have been eliminated since the merge. Do you think that continues to be the trend, going to 4 people, or do you think that at some point you guys are going to have to go against each other?
Well, I think if you kind of look at the numbers right now, if we continue our trend of going for green and then like keeping the yellow in, I mean, eventually we're going to have to go after each other. But I think that we've, as an alliance here, we've kind of come together where I think it can be a conversation that if we do make it to the final 4 together, we kind of all talk together like, all right, what's happening from here on out? Like, how do we go about this? Because I feel like we really built up that trust. But, we don't know what's going to happen tonight. It could go anyway.
Well, carried off of that, obviously, within the final 6, I think someone mentioned it earlier, it becomes an individual game. Like, you get to the end with 3 other people, and the ultimate goal is to win. So, Lila, take me through the thought process of, at this point, are you still considering trust and alliances, or are you considering what is it that's going to be able to propel you to the end and help you win this game?
I think it's definitely a combo of both, because people that you don't trust can't take you to the end. Like you do need your alliances to get you to the end in a way, but also I understand that, I don't know. I think it's both, for sure. Because you also want to think about, in the end, who you want to be sitting next to. But if you don't trust the people you want to be sitting next to, you may not get there with them.
I could definitely say, to add on to that, we're now getting into the phase where it's who are we voting out that's going to be in the best interest for how it goes at the final trial where the jury votes. Because it's we have to kind of start I think everybody has to start kind of organizing in their own head, if I'm making it to the final 3, how do I have to approach this so that I can make sure the jury kind of might work in my favor.
I'll jump in too to say I've heard already, and there's 6 of us, but I've already heard final 3 promises across the board from different people to different people. So it's definitely in people's heads. Just it depends how it plays out the next few votes.
Hugh, at this point, how much do you feel even though you've made relationships with all these people, that it has become a personal game, or like she just said, people have deals with everyone? Do you think it becomes a game where it gets to the end, or do you think these personal relationships are still a huge factor?
I think it's definitely a mixture of both, but obviously everybody wants to win the game, and they're gonna try and put themselves in the best scenario to get to the end in a spot where they can win. And I mean, that depends on who you view as a threat, who do you think has the best jury management? If you get someone out now, would you be the next? That's a big factor in my mind. It's no secret that everybody voted for me on the challenge, that I was running the game, or I was the biggest threat to win. So that obviously weighs on my mind, and I've never felt safe at travel. And especially getting closer to the end as the numbers dwindle, it's definitely something to consider.
Dina, what are you basing your vote off of tonight?
I think, honestly, it's an individual game at this point. I have to think about, what's going to benefit me coming into the next tribal in the long run of the game. I mean, personal relationships also go into it, but, when you're this far into the game where there's only 6 of us left, you kind of have to, look past that a little bit. So there's a lot of things that factor into this vote.
With that, it's time to vote. Jana, you're up first.
Ben, I think we all seriously believe that you have an idol. It needs to get flushed out, because if you make it to Final 5 with the idol, you make it to Final 4, and that's one less spot plus the immunity necklace, which is 2, and I want as many chances as I can for myself. No hard feelings.
I can spell it right. I'm so sorry, Hugh, but you're just a way bigger threat than Jaina at this point, and I don't know if your idol's fake or not, and that terrifies me, so I have to vote you out, or at least try my best to.
I'll go tie the votes. Person voted out will be the 9th person voted out of Cal Poly Survivor and the 7th person voted out of jury. First vote, Jaina. Second vote, Ben. 1 vote Jaina, 1 vote Ben. Jaina. 2 votes Jaina, 1 vote Ben, 3 votes left. Hugh. 1 vote Hugh, 1 vote Ben, 2 votes Jaina. Hugh. 2 votes Hugh, 2 votes Jaina, 1 vote Ben, 1 vote left. The 9th person voted out of Cal Poly Survivor and the 7th person of our jury. Hugh. Sorry, Hugh. Come, bring me the torch.
Good move, guys. It's all good. Good move.
Unfortunately, Hugh, the chime spoke you. Thank you for playing.
Yes, good game, guys. Good luck.
5 people left. One of you will be the winner of Cal Poly Survivor. I will see you guys in a couple days for the next Tribal Council.
That was a really hard move for me to make because Hugh has been somebody that I have wanted to work with since the start. I trust him the most. I wanted to take him to the end, but as soon as I found out him and Dylan were roommates, and I found out the willingness he has to keep things a secret for his own game, I realized no matter how much I love the guy, I have to see him go at some point. And this was the only time to do it. And even in my confessional at Tribal, I was I honestly hope this doesn't work so that I can keep playing with you, but I need to try now. And I'm glad that I was persuasive enough to get those 2 numbers and to figure out that it was possible to do that now. So yeah, that was a hard one, but I mean, it had to happen, and I'm glad that it did.
Confidence,
It was in my backpack the entire time.
Oh my god!
Hugh, what? Tribal Council was crazy. Got Hugh out. Didn't play his idol, so that was really good. One thing, we low-key blindsided Jaina because she voted for Ben because we didn't tell her what we were doing. I think it was fine. She didn't seem too upset about it because it wasn't her out, so it's fine.
All right, guys, so I'm out in the wilderness. I just had a talk with Pierce. So it turns out Pierce might be the person I'm gonna be working with as things go forward. And I think that's a good thing because, I seem like I can trust her. And it sounds like from what I've heard, she can kind of trust me. So that's pretty good.
I don't want Lila out. I have final 3, deal with her. I genuinely want to take her to the end. Pierce I haven't talked to, but I don't know, I think I want to take Jaina out just because I think she's a threat. She has friends on the jury. We've been saying this for a long time. I think it would make sense to take her out. The only thing is how we go about it, just because we are working together and it would be weird if I voted her out. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Anyway.
It sucks that Hugh's out. Hugh's out. And that puts a big wrench in my plans going forward. Because I really trusted him. He was a guy I had 100% trust with. But the reasons that I heard made sense. Because when I did the planning out, Hugh wouldn't have gotten out this round because he would have played his idol. He wouldn't have gotten out in the final 4 because I would have had his back. So really, it was kind of, this was the last time we could have voted him out. And so I guess, you know, it makes sense that he was voted out, but it does suck because now being one down, there's a chance that everything could fall apart, but I think I've got Pierce. Pierce has my back and I've got Pierce's back.
All of us are graduating soon, like everybody in my house. And then on top of that, trying to play this game. As we get to the end, it's so important. Like I need to focus so much on this. I literally got froyo last night with my roommates and was calling with Ben like while I was there, just because like I'm just trying to find like the little spare time that I do have.
I think moving forward, we're going to be a pair that will try to kind of work together. We're a little scared because Lila's been pretty flip-floppy, but this time we're wondering if she's going to try to rally Jaina and Dina.
Ben and I had such a good conversation. Like, Ben is really just having fun. Like, he really is just enjoying this game for what it is.
Yeah, I took a wrong turn at the Taco Bell, and I'm a little scared, but yeah.
He's never seen an episode before. Like, he's just here playing. The fact that he's made it so far is honestly so impressive. When I talked to Ben, he basically said, like, Pierce, I think you've played, like, a really good game. And, like, I think you have a really good chance of winning this thing. And, like, all I want is, like, I just want to be at that final 3. Like, I just want to know that, like, I made it. And I was like, Ben, listen, like, he's like, I haven't played, like, the best game, so a lot of people just kind of think I'm just sitting here, like, playing, you know, behind everybody else.
I think people don't really take me that seriously. I think in the last challenge, I wrote Arizona for a number question.
I was like, Ben, like, you and I have had such similar games. And I'm trying to make him realize, like, he has had an impact on these games. Like, when we play, like, the whole time we played with Hugh, Ben and I were the people that Hugh was asking, like, who do you want out next, you know?
With how it's looking, I think Pierce might be the winner, which sounds weird because it's, you know, I should be trying to win. And I think, you know, I'm going to try my best. But I think when you look at how everybody ranks everybody, Pierce is kind of taken, like, she's, like, a very well-rounded person and stuff.
Hugh was the ally that we decided both to have together that kind of made those things work and got us as a group further in the game. And none of that is, like, all credit to Hugh. None of that's all credit to me. Like, it was the 3 of us making those decisions together. I do genuinely just want him to be there at the end. Just, like, as a friend.
Lila stabbed a lot of people in the back, so I feel like she's not going to get any votes. And we're going to try to vote out the other 2. But it seems like Jaina has a lot of her alliance members on the jury, so she might get some votes. And then Dina has a very good underdog story, where from that one, I think it was like the game where we wrote names on the whiteboards, people put her as like someone they're kind of using as a goat to take all the way to the end, but she's kind of proving herself. And so I think it's between her and Pierce if they make it to the finals. And if I make it, you know, I'm just kind of there, happy to be there, but you know, word.
Ben has an idol still, so he's safe. I have immunity, so I'm safe. So that just leaves it between Lila, Pierce, and Jaina.
I'm kind of scared for this game. I will be playing the idol very soon. I'm going to be playing it in the final 5 for that one, so I know I'm safe there. Oh, I'm covering the thing. But yeah, I'm going to be using that, and then Pierce and I developed a plan where if it seems like Lila isn't with us, she's going to make a lie that Ben is playing the idol for her, and I'm playing the idol for her. And then what's going to happen is people will vote me, but then it turns out I'll have the idol, and then we'll get the win, or the vote win, or whatever. So yeah, that's what the plan is. I'm a little out of breath. I'm really lost. Hopefully I find my way, but you know, that's just how things be.
Alright, for today's challenge, we have 5 people left. First things first, Dina, I'm gonna have to take back the immunity necklace from you. Unfortunately. Thank you. Immunity is back up for grabs. Probably the most important immunity yet of this game. We have, whoever wins this immunity will be guaranteed Final 4 for the chance to be in the Final 3 to stake your claim for the vote and be the winner of Soul Survivor and Cal Poly Survivor. So, for today's challenge, in what is probably the most important challenge yet, we'll be doing some Cal Poly Survivor trivia. So, it is about how much you have paid attention to the game, how much you know what has been going on, how much you know about the votes each week, etc. Based on that, we'll be crowning our winner. So I have 15 questions prepared. Each question will be going from 1 to 15. You'll have 10 seconds to write down your answer. After 10 seconds, your pen must be down or you're disqualified for the vote, or for the question. Put your answer up, and then if you get a point, or if you get it right, then you get a point. Some answers require more than one name or number. Remember, we'll be having a winner next week, so one of you here. Who is the only person that was eliminated with 4 votes? Answers. Time. Alright, let's see your answers. Alright, Dina, no answer. Jana says Soren. Pierce says Jane. Lila says Cooper. And Ben says Cooper. The answer is Cooper. So Lila and Ben both get a point. Alright, this question asks for 3 names. Who was eliminated in the first round of the merge competition? Time. Answers? Jana? Okay. Oh. Alright. Dina says Cooper, Dina, and Soren. Gina's wrong, just Cooper. Pierce says Soren, Cooper, Dina. Lila says Soren, Cooper, Dina. And then Ben says Aiden, J, Cooper. So you 3 get a point. Who won immunity in the episode that Soren was eliminated?
Like who had it during that tribal?
Answers? Go. Alright.
I don't know.
Dina and Jada say Dylan, and then everyone else says Lila. The correct answer is Dylan. So for this question, you can say anything that's related. It doesn't have to be exactly correct because it's the name of a challenge. But for this answer, describe what was the name or like what was the first online challenge. Answers? Puzzles. What does that say?
Puzzles and mazes.
Yeah, okay, everyone gets a point. Next question, question 5. How many votes have been, in total, have been cast in the merge? Five seconds. Hands down. Answers?
I didn't finish.
We got, was it 40, 40, what's that?
I didn't finish.
And 30. Answer is 40, so Gina and Pierce with you.
How'd you do that so fast?
How many times during an episode in the merge did more than 2 people have votes that counted against them?
Okay.
Dina, answer? The correct answer is 2. Only Dina gets a point.
I'm so wow. We're all over the place.
7. Not including this challenge, how many in-person challenges have we had?
Wait, you said not included?
Not including this challenge.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Good answer. You can't.
Answers? What's that?
6.
3, 6, 6, 3, 3. The answer is 4. So no answer. This answer has multiple names. Who has received the most votes during the merge? Share your answer when you're done. Jada? No one gets correct. The answer was Soren Dillon.
Wow.
Question 9. How many extra votes have been used?
Throw a number in.
Everyone says 0. The correct answer is 0.
Oh my god.
For this question, in the competition's categories, name 5 categories. Answers.
Oh.
Lila, show it. Answer. Lila, show it. I know, show it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. What's your set? Subway topping.
I won that. Disney 2010 show, state, letter, and holiday.
Okay, all are correct. State, fast food, shoot, car, holiday. State, car type, survivor winner. Fast food chain and month. And I think you have the wrong competition. Meaning that Dina, Jada, and Pierce. Oh, yep. Take the amount of players eliminated in the game and subtract the amount of players eliminated during the merge. What is the number?
Eliminated the game total.
Total eliminated in the game, subtract the number of people eliminated during the merge.
Just think
This is where one of those questions.
The amount of people total in the game that have been eliminated, subtract the amount of people eliminated during the merge. Answer. Dina. 3 people say 3, 2 people say 4. Correct answer is 4, meaning Dana and Pierce both get an answer. They're getting the boxes of pizza were at the merge. Okay, these answers are all over the place. Ben says Arizona. Dina says 10. Lila says 5. Jana and Pierce both say 4. The correct answer is 4. What was the reward from the very first challenge pre-merge? Answers? Dina says cow. Pierce says cow. The answer is cow. Everyone else can get a point. So Dina and Pierce will get a point. 2 questions left. Pierce is in the lead by 1. Next question. Next question, 15 seconds in this one. In the challenge, touchy subjects, who is the answer for the most questions? Oh. Thank you, Hugh. No one gets it right. The correct answer was Soren with 5. Next question. With the scores at the moment, Pierce with the correct answer here will win immunity. But Jana and Dina both have the chance to tie.
No pressure.
Ben, you're a little far behind. Alright. I'll give you guys 15 seconds in this one. Okay. In the merge idle clue, it explains that you may travel north, look through the world, but what you are looking for is right at home. It also explains it's decently far from campus. What is the name of the area that the idle clue is describing? Dina and Jana both say Arboretum. Pierce says Art Graveyard. Lila says World of Gardens. Ben says Arboretum. The correct answer is Arboretum.
Yeah.
This answer is going to be whoever is closest to the correct number. If there's a certain distance from like over and under, it's going to be whoever is under the answer but closest to it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if the answer is 3, then and someone puts 1, someone puts 5, whoever put 1 is closer. With that being said, including the start date and today, how many days of Survivor have you been playing?
Is this like days that we've been?
That's not
days
right.
since we started, or like
Days that we've met, or like
That you've been playing
weekends.
Survivor since the beginning.
Okay, so every day is like live.
Every day's been live, yeah. Answers? Everyone?
Answers.
Jaina? Okay, Dina's is 33, Jaina's is 35, and Pierce is 30. The correct answer is 32, meaning that Dina wins immunity.
I'm lowest, but I'm closest.
No, she's only down by
But
one.
I'm. You said 32, right?
Yeah, you're down by 2. She's up by 1.
Yeah, but you said if you said it's under, right?
No, sorry. What I meant by that is if it's like the same distance on both.
No! Damn, that's
So Dina wins immunity for the second week in a row. You are guaranteed Final Four, but for the rest of you, unfortunately I have nothing else for you, so you'll have to head back to camp where on Monday you'll be building counts. The 10th person out of Cowboy Survivor will be then we'll have the Final Four and soon the finale and reading. So see you guys soon.
Second immunity idol back to back. That's kind of concerning because now that Loki puts a target on me, but like I feel like this far to the end, like I don't know, I'm guaranteed Final Four, and after that, it's not like who you're trying to take out, it's more of who you want to go to the end with.
All right, so I just got back to campus after hearing the rock music. It guided me. Those were the trumpets of, you know, the skies calling me back to this place. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, no, I'm back here at campus. I had my call with Jane on the way. We had a really good conversation. It went for about 40 seconds. I couldn't hear a single thing she said because she was driving in a really rough spot, so not very productive, but you know, yeah, it's gonna be tough because she wants to continue the call, and I should have heeded Pierce's warning when we had our own call of it's better just to text than it is to call, so that way you don't feel bad, because I'm sorry, but I am planning on voting her, and hearing her out is not really gonna change my mind. I'm very set. I'm very loyal to the plans that I've made. Yeah, at least I made it back to campus and I wasn't mauled by a pack of coyotes or anything like that, so that's cool. But Lila last night texted me and it just seemed very odd. Like, maybe it was because, I don't know, because like she kind of turned on like our alliance a little, so maybe I'm just coming back from like losing a little bit of trust, but it seemed off. It was a very short and brief conversation, but I just wasn't, something was weird. And so I don't know, I think I trust her for now, but I think this call or text that we're gonna have is really gonna reveal to me what's going on.
So I talked to Pierce and Ben and Dina today. I've had phone calls with all of them. Everyone has kind of been a little unsure of what the plan is. Ben kind of really just said that he doesn't really have an idea yet. And I was talking to Ben before. He said that Pierce had already said Lila to him.
I'm gonna be lying through my teeth, and that's not gonna be fun, but you know, I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do to ensure that this alliance that I have that's left of it can make it to the end.
And that Lila had actually thrown my name out there, which I wasn't surprised about.
So we had this plan to vote out Jaina, and she thought we were all voting Lila. And she said it from like the beginning. She's like, I'm not gonna vote for people who lied to me and all this stuff. So we were all like really hesitant about lying to her about voting her out and saying we're voting out Lila. So, but like, since we're all lying to her, I think it's fine. She's lied to us too.
It's gonna be Jaina. It's gonna be Jaina tonight. And that sucks because we definitely talked, and you know, she kind of sounded worried that it might be her, and she told me to be honest with her, and I'm really debating, do I tell her? But I think because I know I'm safe with the idol, and because that's the person I kind of want to be, I think I should just tell her I'm voting her. So I'm gonna tell her like in an hour. Pierce, I believe, is still the person that I'm choosing to take with me to the end. And hopefully the same. So I think that gives me some good chances. Yeah, I'm just really scared because this is the most vulnerable I believe I will be going into a vote. So yeah, my thing still remains the same. I still want to just make it to the final 3. Winning is a cool side effect. I know it's like a really odd strategy, but it's like that's really what's important to me. Is like I just want to kind of be there throughout, and that'd be really fun. I feel like this is kind of the last chance to really talk about how I feel. So I've been having a pretty rough quarter of this spring quarter 2022, and I really kind of just was like, I need something. I need a small, like a pretty major victory, because so far most facets of my life are not going well. So I was like, I need something, and I think I really look to Survivor as like, this is gonna be my something. This is gonna be what's gonna, lift me up. So really hoping that's the case, because I really want to at least make it to the final 3. In my eyes, a final 3, making it is enough for me. I'll be happy with whoever is chosen. If it's me, that'll make me more happy.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm nervous. Here's the thing. Like, when I think about this realistically, I know that in the past, Lila and Jaina have both thrown out my name before. And one of the scariest things about moving forward with the Hugh move was knowing that when Hugh left, like that big target that was kind of shielding me would be gone. But if Lila and Jaina think that like I'm somebody that needs to go now, they have Dina and they could vote me out tonight, and there's nothing I can do about it in terms of like an idol or playing it safe, because I honestly don't want Ben to play his idol for me. Like, it'd be ideal, but like he worked hard to find that idol, and to talk to him and make him feel like he has to play it for me feels like manipulative, and I wouldn't want to go that far to do that. I don't know if I have everybody else. So, yeah. I'm nervous for this vote. Like, I could be going home, and I feel like I don't have a lot of power.
This is a big deal, honestly. We're all just really happy to still be here, and I plan on making it through this one too. I want to make it to the end. Everyone's said the same thing. I'm willing to vote anyone. I just want to make it through. And so I decided to take a step back and just let someone else take the lead, and that kind of ended up being Pierce. She suggested Lila. So yeah, I talked to Pierce and I said I was on board because it didn't feel good having my own name thrown out there. And then I talked to Dina and filled her in, and she was down 2 for Lila. And really we only need 3. So if Ben doesn't work out, we still have Pierce, Dina, and myself.
I just have to make sure Lila and Dina and I are on the same page, which means I think I'm gonna have to call each of them before Tribal tonight. It's literally tonight. I haven't heard from Lila in a while, and it makes me nervous. Like, it makes me nervous. Like, I wanna know what's going on. I wonder if she's nervous.
I am feeling extremely nervous. I know that Jaina is gonna be voting for me, and Pierce, Ben, and Dina all told me that they were gonna vote for Jaina, but I don't really know how true that is, and I'm kind of just hoping that none of them are gonna vote for me because I really want to make it a Final 4. I also talked to Pierce about going to Final 3 with me, her, and Ben, but again, like, I don't know how true that is. I know that she sees me as a threat, and I feel like she would use an opportunity to get me out if she could. So,
like, if Jaina and Dina wanted to vote with me to get Lila out, it's a possibility right now, but I'd rather get rid of Jaina, I think, just because I know that I have the numbers for that, and Ben wants to do that, and I don't want to like blindside Ben again and make him think it's a different vote.
I'm nervous though. If I even make it, like, they could be lying to me. I just think that Jaina needs to go because she has too many friends on the jury, and like, she's too good at the challenges. Like, she'd win that challenge. Ben and Dina
seemed to be on the same page. Like, we all just called and they're like, yeah, I'm super down to vote out Jaina. Like, I see her as a big threat. So that's the plan.
But she calls me like 2 hours before tribal and she's like, oh, is the plan still to vote out Lila? And I was like, yeah, like, why wouldn't it be? And she says, well, Ben said he was like, he wasn't sure who he's voting out. And then he just called me saying he's voting me out. And I'm thinking, why did he do that? Because that ruins our plan. So I'm like, oh, I have no idea. I'm not aware of this plan. Let me talk to people, figure it out. So I tell Pierce, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna tell Lila that I'm gonna tell Jaina that we're voting for her, because Ben already told her. And then when I tell her, Pierce tells her that I flipped and I'm voting with Ben, but I said that I don't know what's going on and I might be flipping with them. Like, I don't know, it got super messy. So now what's going on is she thinks that Lila and Ben are voting for her, and she and I are voting for Lila, and Pierce is a swing vote.
This is super crazy. Last minute. I know we have like 45 minutes left until tribal council, but basically I've been talking with Dina and Pierce, and I thought we were all on the same page, and then about our vote for Lila, and I had Ben text me and he just said, hey, I want to be honest, I'm sorry, I'm voting for you. And I said, I totally get it. I've enjoyed playing with you, respect your game, hope you go far in the game. And then I just wanted to call and check to make sure that both Pierce and Dina were good, and Dina said that she was still good, that she hasn't like really heard from Pierce, and then Pierce texted me saying that Dina flipped and that she's with Ben now. And I asked Dina, I'm like, hey, like Pierce said this, like, is this true? And then I was like, to Pierce, I'm like, this is like so confusing. Like, she just confirmed with me 15 minutes before this. And then Pierce said, oh, like, maybe I'm confused. Maybe she meant that like Ben flipped. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense because Ben did flip. And so I confirmed with Dina, Dina's in, I confirmed with Pierce, Pierce is in, and so I'm gonna relax. I'm done. I can't fight, I can't bargain or debate this anymore. So whatever happens, happens, and I've really enjoyed playing the game.
So I'm voting for Lila just to keep this narrative going. But I know Lila will be fine because Pierce is the swing vote, and that's enough to get Jaina out. I don't think she'll flip. It makes no sense for her to. Hopefully she doesn't. There is a slight chance she could.
I'm the swing vote now. Just like, that's a good place to be, but also like, I don't, like, literally every single person has texted me and I've not replied to anybody because I'm just so overwhelmed by it. Like, I'm already late to tribal and I have to still think about who I'm voting for. Like, this is so stressful.
This is kind of good for me because technically I never lied to Jaina then because I didn't vote her out. I never wrote her name down. So that's good jury management for me.
I'm kind of stressing because I feel like tonight really dictates how the rest of the game will go.
I don't want to go home. I'm not ready. I've played this game this long and I'm not ready to go out. There's not a jury seat with my name on it. So yeah, hopefully all goes according to plan, and if not, I have not been holding onto this piece of shit for the last, 35-ish days. So yeah, I'm gonna be really disappointed if this thing is fake. I'm hoping it's real. My mind can't wrap around anything right now. I just have to stick to my guns and hopefully everything goes according to plan. Sorry, Lila.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Tribal Council.
Doing something else. Welcome back. Final 5.
In 4 days, there's gonna be 3 of you sitting up here and 1 sole survivor for the first season of Cowboy Survivor. I'm still hyped. I don't know about you guys, but before we do that, we have to unfortunately eliminate one of you guys tonight. And with that being said, I think we'll just jump right into it. So, Ben, how does it feel, sitting here at the final 5, going through, the last couple of weeks and, almost being done?
It's definitely something I don't think I expected. I mean, being here is a little bit surreal because it's like, even then, it was just so far out that it was like, it wasn't a thought. And then now I'm here. And so it definitely feels like rewarding, to have been to be here. And I hope, I can keep going forward, but we'll see how that goes tonight.
Jaina, what about for you? How does it feel being so close to the end, but knowing that you still have 2 votes that you have to get there?
Yeah, like Ben said, it is surreal. You don't think about making it. I think the entire game you play, you're just kind of like, okay, make it through this vote, make it through the next one, and the next one. And I've been taking it day by day, but I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of all of us for sitting up here today. Excited and hope to play more of the game.
You just said for each vote it was get to the next vote, get to the next vote, get to the next vote. At this point in the game, there's only 2 votes left until you're at the final 3 where you have to state your case to the jury. And in stating that, it's how well did you play this game and how many votes can you ultimately gather. So following that, Pierce, how much goes into the fact of, going week by week versus at this point thinking to the end and thinking what's going to be your best chance to win in this game?
This is like the first tribal where my head is spun out of control because there's so little people that every conversation you have, when you think, okay, Dina has immunity, Ben has an idol, there's 3 people that are realistically gonna go home. And when you talk to one of those people, you obviously talk about that third person. You're not gonna talk to, so every conversation is you're talking to everybody about every option and you just get so flustered about what's true. But I think what I realized is I have to go with what I trust because there's nothing else I can do. And what I'm trusting is what I think will do me best in the final 4 and hopefully the final 3. So that's the best I can do.
Dina, once again having immunity for the 2nd week in a row. How does that feel being, at this point in the game?
It feels amazing, not gonna lie. Just because as the numbers get smaller, you want to be able to keep going forward. So it feels really nice going into a vote, knowing that you're safe.
Is there any talk about, being this far in the game and trying to win the game, having a resume or having things that you can say that you did, big moves, potential things in the game? Does that come into play tonight or has come into play yet?
I mean, yeah, I think everything is factored into a vote when you're this close to making it to the end. Obviously, you have to think about everyone, what they've done throughout the game, who you want to sit next to at the end. So yeah, I think it does come up a little bit.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I mean, in the conversations I had, I think it was maybe one of the main things that was brought up as a point of convincing me to go that way. On both sides, wherever I was hearing it from, it was think about you bring that person to 4 and then they have done good in challenges or they have really good friends, even if they don't win, they're going to be just brought to that 3 anyways, and you don't want to be sitting next to them because of this. That's been brought up to me, I think, in almost every conversation I've had.
Do you think there's anything that's more important than other factors that goes into, why you would or wouldn't want to bring someone to the end or sit next to someone in the final 4 or final 3?
It's tough to say. I think each person's going to have their own perception of it because we know that the jury's, everyone on the jury is going to have their own perception of what a winning game is. And so we don't know how to manage the players in the game based on what they think because we don't know what they think. So each person has to judge that for themselves and hopefully they're right.
Going off of that, obviously a huge part of this game is the jury because at the end of the day, they're the ones deciding who the winner of this game is. So Ben, take me through, has there been any thought about how the jury could potentially impact this vote or who could win the game in your eyes?
I definitely think it's a really mixed bag. It's a hard question to answer, but I think if I were to say, I think it comes down to probably how their experiences worked out, and that's definitely going to factor into what they're going to be doing. But I think when it comes down to the final 3, they'll also get the opportunity to kind of see how the game worked and kind of see, they'll get people's perspectives, and maybe that might be a factor in voting, but I can't say for sure.
Lila, at this point in the game, obviously, there has been alliances, there has been people who have backstabbed or gone back on their word or, you know, made moves to get further in this game. Do you think that anything from prior in this game is going to have a big impact on tonight, or do you think most of it has to do with looking forward?
I mean, I think it's definitely a mix of both, but like people's actions in the past have shown you if you can trust them or not moving forward. And I think if you want to get to the end, you do need to trust people. So you need to take into account like your alliances from the past in order to get you forward. But you also need to look at like different opportunities.
Jana, what's the factor that is going to be for your vote tonight?
Well, this has been a really interesting tribal council and leading up to it. Kind of similar to the last one that we had. I think like Pierce said earlier, mine's just kind of everywhere. These are going really quickly, which is really different. Not only are there fewer people, like Pierce also said earlier, every conversation you have gets super personal because these are the people you have left to make relationships with, and you have to like really like, I mean, I put my heart and soul into every conversation and every relationship I've had with someone, and so obviously it sucks to have to vote someone out, even at this point. It never gets easier, and so I think for me it just kind of comes down to my own game tonight, because I think we all think we've all worked really hard to get here and earn our seats here tonight, and so I think we want to keep them.
And with that, it sounds like after lots of competing and playing, many of you have built actual genuine relationships that at some point are going to have to come to an end. And with only 4 days left of this game, we'll be having a winner soon. So with that, it's time to vote and get to the final four. Pierce, you're up first. I'll go tie the votes. All right. Before I read the votes, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
All right, guys, I know this is gonna come as a real shocker, but I have an immunity idol, and I'm sorry.
It's broken.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Doesn't count.
This is a hidden immunity idol. All votes for Ben do not count. Are there any other idols or advantages?
And that one might not have been a shock, but this one might be. If it's real. I don't know.
This is not a hidden immunity idol. Unfortunately, that is not a hidden idol. There is no fire, so instead I just threw it. But all votes for you will count. All votes for Ben do not count. If anyone else has an idol or an advantage, now is the last time to play it. All right, all votes are official. The person voted out will be voted out. And yeah, okay. First vote, Lila. 1 vote, Lila. Second vote, Gina. 1 vote, Lila. 1 vote, Gina. Lila. 2 votes, Lila. 1 vote, Gina. Gina. 2 votes, Gina. 2 votes, Lila. 1 vote left. The 10th person voted of Cow Paw Survivor and the 8th member of our jury. Gina, that's enough. I'm sorry. Please grab me the torch. give me your buff. Yeah, that. I'm sorry, Jana. The tribe has spoken. Alright, well, it is the final four, which means only one person left will be voted out. 3 of you will be standing at finale night where you get to state your case for the sole survivor of the first season of Cowboy Survivor. With that being said, we're about to have our last challenge of the season, the most important one yet, probably the longest and the most intense, so get ready. But I will see you guys soon for the challenge.
Contrary to popular belief, I actually really like the way that vote happened. A lot of stuff happened very quickly, like an hour before tribal, and it got really messy. But it actually ended up benefiting me a lot because I was able to get Jana out without lying to her. So I was the person that voted out Lila. She knew that was gonna happen. Thankfully she's still here because I want to take her to final 2 or 3, but like, you know what I mean. Anyway, so honestly that was really good tribal just because like got her out, didn't lie to her, still on her good side if you will. So yeah, overall really good. We're gonna do the challenge next. I'm really nervous about that just because Josh keeps saying it's gonna be super long, and also it's the last one before the finals, so it's really important to win. Low-key, I have a target on my back now, which is really concerning because I didn't think this would happen. I won 2 immunities back to back. Call me a comp beast, I guess. But it's really nerve-wracking now because I have to win this one. So yeah, hopefully I win. I don't really know though. I'm nervous, but I'm